Welcome back to the Blueprint, man. I'm glad to be back as your host, DeAndre Green, also known as Dre Green, admission counselor here at SMSU. And this is a presentation by the Center of Business and Innovation and Entrepreneurship. Today we have a great guest who I've been chatting up with previous for a little bit, getting to know this man, Chef Ronnie Walker of the Atlantic Place. How you doing, sir?
Doing well. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing very good, man.
Thanks for having me.
I'm glad you could get it out in your busy schedule on a nice Wednesday evening, man.
Right. No, I'm glad I could come.
Is this a busy time of year right now, early January?
It is. It's starting to taper down a little bit from the holiday parties, which is kind of nice, a little bit of a break. But
indeed,
I always like to stay busy, though.
And give you a little bit more rest so you can gear up for the summer, huh?
That's it, yep.
So, Chef, man, if you want to just briefly, man, just give us a little bit of the backstory. I know me and you just been talking right before we got on air, but tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from. I like to talk about the 5 W's, who you are, where you're from, what you do, when you did it, and when the vision really started.
Gotcha.
Things like that.
Well, Ronnie Walker, I moved here 2017. I actually moved here to farm, which is crazy. Just didn't work out, which I actually learned a ton about food in general. Mm-hmm. And then I got an opportunity to teach here. I taught here adjunct for a while and then got full-time. So truly miss that, the students and the atmosphere. But the Atlantic Place came apart, got approached by a few people, and the restaurant kind of, I don't know, ebb and flowed from there. But sorry, fast track there a little bit.
No worries.
About me, I was raised in the South,
yes.
Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia.
Okay.
So you'll see a little bit of that on the menu too. But no, I grew up down south and then moved back around to, I moved back to South Carolina. I got a job when I was 15, washing dishes, just fell in love with the restaurant industry.
Man, another country boy from Tennessee,
right.
I see, man. But so you say you kind of fell in love with it from a young age, man. Was this some kind of a family tradition? I know a lot of chefs get inspired by mom and pop shops and the grandmas or grandpas having recipes and things like that. Did you see that in your family? Was that the dynamics of your family?
So my parents were divorced, and I did see that from my dad because he was always standing in the kitchen peeling potatoes.
Yeah.
It's just something I always saw. He was a potato man. He
Okay.
loved his meat potatoes. So I always saw him in the kitchen. So, yeah, just seeing a man in the kitchen nothing really changed on that. Just
yes,
you always got the stereotype of the woman in the kitchen, which isn't true anymore. So
yeah.
But no, I wouldn't say that pushed me because he wasn't the best cook, but just seeing a guy in the kitchen, I guess.
Yeah.
But just falling in love with the fast pace and just the camaraderie in the kitchen, it just become my second home, to be honest with you. Just because if you ever work in a restaurant, it's long hours. You're always working while everybody else is having fun. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know, just the fell in love with the people and the atmosphere. And I think it was the first time I actually had to run food to a table. And they complimented on stuff, and that just right there just turned the tables on me.
Gotcha.
Just seeing the people, how happy they were. I don't know, just something right there just clicked. It's like, this is what I want to do.
Indeed. So I'm assuming you went to culinology school?
Culinary school, yeah.
Culinary school.
At the Art Institute of Atlanta.
Okay, sounds good. Is there kind of any comparisons from that one there? And I know there's another one in New York. Any kind of different teaching strategies they teach you? Or from an educational side, is there big educational values into a profession like this, such as food industry and things? Or is it kind of more so, you kind of trial by error?
No, you learn the basics in school. That's pretty much it. A lot of the students, they think you're going to come out and you're going to be a chef, which maybe at certain levels, but to be honest with you, no. You're going to go in, you're going to get the total basics. Mm-hmm. Kind of, I don't know about doctors, but never went to that school. But yeah, you learn the basics there. Everything else is just on-the-job training, really, and just experience, just like you said. Some days it works, some days it doesn't work. So yeah. That's the fun part. I always get to play with food.
Yeah, man. So where did the business side of things start to kick in for you? Were you waiting your turn? Did you always have the aspirations, I'm going to have my restaurant one day, I'm going to have this, I'm going to do that, do this business venture? Or was it something that you kind of just patiently waited, kind of filled it out, and kind of took what was given?
Kind of both, to be honest with you, because I fell out of love with the restaurant business for a while, just because I worked with people that just weren't great people. Mm-hmm. You're like, crap, I don't want to be like that. I mean, you see the bad side, the drugs, alcohol, the long hours, just sometimes it leads people to that, the divorce. I mean, there's so much bad side to that, but it's everywhere in life. You have to remember that. Yeah. So I did fall out of love with it, but then I fell back in love with it, and then just working with great people. So then that's where the tables turn. It's like, oh, I think I can do this. This will be fun. Yeah. And then just run the small restaurant here at school, Taste, when I was teaching here. Okay. I mean, that really just put a fire.
So you do have ties to the culinary school here?
Correct. I used to
Okay.
teach here.
Okay.
Yep.
Got you. Now I'm connecting the dots.
Yep.
I heard it, but I didn't listen to it. That's my bad. So can you speak a little bit kind of to your affiliation with that group at that time, and what time period was that in?
That was a few years ago. It was back in, I don't even remember what years that was. We opened a restaurant it's going to be a year coming up in February 2nd.
Okay.
So I left school right after that. So, or before that, should I say.
Got you.
So I was here about 3 years.
Okay.
Adjunct for a little bit and then full time. But no, actually the president Kamara, he wanted me to open the restaurant full time.
Wow.
I was like, well, the restaurant class is only one semester, so how am I going to do that? So I actually got students to work there and plus the class too. So when they didn't have a class, they would actually work.
Man.
So it was kind of like on-the-job training for them, which was perfect. So yeah, I love that to death. That was one of the best experiences, to be honest with you.
Yeah, man. And it is definitely unique because we're one of the few schools that have culinary arts, for a 4-year public. And so for me, in my profession, I get asked that a lot when I get students that are interested in that major. And so you to be the matriarch of it all, it speaks a lot of volumes. And I hope to believe, I spent a lot of time down there that whoever's in place, they kind of, left a little bit of Chef Ronnie still in there, even though you can't be as much involved as you are, but definitely your presence was felt there. I definitely can respect and know that for sure, man.
So I do miss it, just seeing the kids from day one, just seeing just basic stuff from knife skills, even the knowledge from other teachers too. But the knife skills, just seeing what they do the first day versus the next day till the end of the semester and so forth and so on, years down the road. It's just amazing. And then just how they create food too. It's just an expression on a plate. And the knowledge, and I don't know, it's just something, because I don't have kids. So just seeing that from other kids growing up, man, it was just awesome. That's what I really, really, truly miss about it.
So they turn into your kids, sort of. They
do.
So I know I'm moving a little bit too fast, but have you created internships, or like you said, you spoke and said some of your students are now working for you as employees, kind of ballpark figure of that?
I'd love to do internships, but I don't necessarily have the structure in place right this second.
Okay.
Which we have a great place to do it because we got catering upstairs for weddings, parties, large events, all the way from just bar food downstairs because we do all the food for wing acts. So, I mean, there's just a plethora of outlets that they would learn from.
Okay.
But no, I have, I think, 2 or 3 students right now working for me. And there's another student that actually comes home on the holidays and he works for me when he's home. So it's just fun seeing them come back and just just talking to them about what they're learning in class. And I don't know, I still feel connected here with that.
Yes,
sir. Cool.
Man, so if you could speak a little bit, man, I know from a business side, we get a lot of people in here that do, corporate business, things of such, entrepreneurship, other small businesses, but not in the form of food industry. Can you give us a glimpse of kind of what is a schedule from a day-to-day to a week-to-week to a month-to-month? Are you meeting with your staff, overviewing the whole year in a over a whole year review? Are you breaking it down monthly? Are you changing the menu? What goes all into the details of running a business in the food industry?
I call it controlled chaos. Truly. I can't tell you how many meetings I used to have during the day. I've cut them back a little bit just so I could be more hands-on in the kitchen itself. Holy cow, it's just day to day. It changes day to day. It's funny that you say that because February 2nd is Groundhog Day, and it's definitely not Groundhog Day. That's the day we actually opened last year. So it'll be a year coming up. So it's definitely not like Groundhog Day where it's a loop every time. It's definitely not that. It's different every day. So menu-wise, heck, I can change it just whenever I want to. It just depends. In the summertime, of course, you can change it more often. There's more ingredients coming in and out from the fields, the gardens, so forth, and that's what I really love. Wintertime, of course, it's not a lot of garden stuff around here in Minnesota, so
a lot of snow,
right? But otherwise, just gathering a team together, it's just constant. I mean, it's not. Sometimes we don't sit down and talk. Sometimes it's just talking when we're on the job because there's so much going on. Say we might have a wedding upstairs, we might have something private party, we might have the restaurant full. So some days it's just really hard. Yeah. It's like yesterday, I was in there probably a good almost 20 hours, just one shift. It's just because I had so much going on and just staffing and all that fun stuff. So,
and what is the old ad-lib, man? Heavy is the crown that wears the king. Heavy is the king that wears the crown, man.
It is. But no, I truly do love it. It's hard work. It's long hours, and I tell everybody that comes in there to interviews that same thing. Yeah. But it's rewarding to me. and hopefully to them too. So
Indeed. So I know the kind of the style of your restaurant and kind of what the flavor is from the food. Can you give it a kind of a glimpse of that for our viewers that are watching and things like that? And how did that come about?
oh, it's got a little Southern roots in there, just from, of course, you always go back to your comfort zone. Do I explore other options? Absolutely. I explore things all the time. Listen to my cooks, my sous chefs, so forth. I'd push them to show me new things. Of course, TikTok and YouTube, and there's so many new things coming about. So otherwise, flavor profiles, I wouldn't say it's all over the board. It's just, to me, I call it comfort food. A lot of people think it's fine dining. It's not. I call it fun dining. I want the whole experience when you come there. I want you just to relax, us to just cater for you. And just, I don't know. Like I said, there's Asian flavors on there. There's American. There's French. I don't want to call it fusion or confusion. It's just, I don't know. I think it's just good, hearty comfort food.
Indeed.
All the way to burgers and pizzas, which I told myself I'd never put on a menu because everybody in Marshall's got burgers and pizzas. But if you can do a good burger and pizza, why not put it on the menu?
You helping my job out. Now me, after this interview, I'll be able to tell them, hey, man, Atlantic Place is something of a variety. So when my students are asking, what do y'all have here? Because I usually give the pitch, man, well, we don't have a Chick-fil-A. We don't have a Chipotle. We don't have any of these. And from college students, that's major for them. But for me as a young 30-year-old man, I definitely like homegrown, fine dining meal that is comfort food, So indeed, man, I was going to ask too, follow up on that question. What kind of is the reception have you gotten from the community behind your restaurant?
I get a lot of good feedback. If I could just push that it's not fine dining, it's fine dining as in it's fine food, but yeah. I don't know. When you're in small towns, you think fine dining, you think you got to get dressed up. Your kids aren't welcome. Kids are welcome 100%. It's for everybody. It's an everyday place. I mean, we compete with price-wise, food-wise with everybody else in town. So I don't know if people think it's fine dining, by no means. Okay. But a lot of people think it's just for special occasions. So we're still new. We're under a year still. So we're trying to get that hurdle of we're not that special occasion place. But do we want that special occasion place? Absolutely. But that's the hard part in a small town. There's not that population you can pull from. So you want it to be the everyday place, but you want it to be the fine dining, which you really don't want to. If that makes sense.
Indeed. Man, I'm trying to brace myself for this next question because I know I want to get a little bit in the thick of things and get pick your brain a little bit more, man. If you can elaborate or express upon, we're doing this for the center of the business, and so in the business aspects, economics plays a huge role in the food industry. From that standpoint, what is the value of economics and breaking down price points from what we put on the menu to catering to paying my employees to my salary? How do you manage all of that?
That is the hardest part of the business right now because everybody thinks they're worth more. Of course, anybody's going to ask for more money. Then if you don't do that, then I wouldn't say you're dumb, but you should be smarter than that. Because there's always a place to negotiate. Food costs, holy smokes, that's just another topic. Pricing, it fluctuates so much. One day you can get chickens for 82 cents a pound. The next week, it could go up $2. You just never know. I meet with wedding parties all the time, and then of course you got a lot of people coming in for dinner. It's going to cost more, so everybody's budget mindly, or they got the budget on their mind. So, the business part it's not the hardest part. I say right now it's the staffing part. To be honest with you, nobody wants to work at night. Everybody, it's a hard job. I wouldn't say nobody wants to, but there's a few in there. But no, business-wise, the numbers are the hardest part. And I'm not going to lie to you. Restaurants are so slim margins. And not to, I don't know. Catering is the bread and butter, to be honest. Gotcha. The restaurant is, I call it like a window shopping. You come by and you kind of get a little taste of what you might get up there. Off-site catering, the restaurants, I wouldn't say it's not a moneymaker, by no means. It's very slim, that's all.
And do you think that's because of the area of the location being in a rural area, small town, compared to a metropolitan area possibly?
Yes and no. I definitely can't charge for if I were in a bigger town, I could definitely charge more for some of the stuff I make.
Gotcha.
For sure. But no, otherwise, it is what it is. It's just, I don't know, you just can't charge that much for.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I guess it is part of the town, but it's not, if that makes sense.
Gotcha. Understandable, man. in collaboration to, value of the school and in business agriculture, the agriculture and the agriculture business, I'm curious to know, man, do you work with farmers as far as your produce or your protein and your beef and whatever you have on your menu from food ingredients? And
I do,
like
absolutely. Actually, I work with Adam Alford here at the college here.
Okay.
He's in charge of the ag department here.
Got you.
I pick his brain all the time. He's smart as a book and just learning different things. And same thing, he's trying to bring some more students out there to just learn about different grains. We used to do that when I was actually working here too. Mm-hmm. Anyway, sorry, I'm jumping around.
No, go ahead.
But no, I definitely I work with farmers. Actually, we have a farm ourselves, and we got a huge garden.
Got you.
Still trying to find a good beef source. Right now, I wouldn't say everything's local. It's not. I'm not gonna lie to you because it's regional. Mm-hmm. But there are some things that come far away, of course, certain produces and stuff. But even in the basement, I'm trying to set up a little station where I can grow my own microgreens and just certain little greens and stuff like that. But yeah, I get the local lamb. There's chicken that's local. The shrimp, of course, is local. It's 20 minutes down the road, and I guess it's still processed here at SMSU in AURI. That's True Shrimp. So yeah, I'm always looking for new things. I mean, it's oddly enough you say that. Some of the contractors come in. They're like, they never had the food, so I feed them something, and they're like, oh, we actually grow some of that stuff. And the next thing you know, the contractors are bringing stuff to the back door, produce and so forth. So that's pretty cool. I mean, it's just amazing that just the outreach that people just want to give you stuff.
Yeah.
That they grow. They're proud of it.
Yeah. It speaks volumes to this community. Myself, I'm from Minneapolis, and so been living here now on and off for 7 years. I undergrad to start here in 17 and now working here now, man, you definitely get a lot of community outreach, especially when it's positivity. And that's what I get when I hear. I'm just so grateful that I get to interview and get to meet you. I've heard great things about your restaurant. And so now getting to meet the man in the face and everything, it is definitely enlightening to me because people speak highly about you and your restaurant. And so for me, I always get that intertwine between. That's why I asked that, is it the location? Because sometimes when you're in a smaller environment, you gauge the reception as if you were to go to a bigger restaurant. I mean, a bigger town with this type of restaurant, you get more of that greater reception, but it's actually vice versa here because the community really feeds in on local and, local entrepreneurship and things like that. So for me, it's enlightening to see that you kind of definitely use your allies, so to say. It's kind of what we say in the business world of agriculture and leaning on the farmers. The next thing I was going to ask, man, dive in a little bit on, in business and when you have business, you can either be a product or you can be a service. And then your thing is you're both. You're giving a product as far as the restaurant and the food, but you're also doing a service for having good employees who are waiters and waitresses. So can you speak a little bit about customer service from the standpoint of the CEO side of things, and kind of what do you kind of prep your guys and your ladies on to be and have great customer service?
Customer service, that's a constant battle. That is constant training. That's hospitality in general. That's one of our mottos too. We want to create an experience, not just coming in and eating great food. You come in by yourself or with 20 people, it doesn't matter. We want the same experience. We want you to relax, have fun. You're spending your hard-earned money on us. So we want everything to be perfect. Is it always going to be perfect? Probably not. But we're going to do our best, that's for sure. But yeah, it's just constant training. We usually have lineup first thing right before we open, go over the new features, have them taste new things and so forth. And then we always try to push them too. Tell us about something that happened this week that was good, bad, and different. What can we learn from it? So, I mean, there's always something to learn from it. Somebody sent back the steak last week or something. How do we fix that? It's not just, we don't know what to do. It's that follow through. It's like golf. It's like we got to finish strong. So what? We screwed up. We're going to screw up. I mean, we're not going to be perfect. So how do we fix it? Yeah. We've got to finish strong. That's all. We got to leave a good taste in their mouth when they leave. Yeah. It's that last bite that's going to bring them back. So yeah. But yeah, it's just a constant training. I want it to be perfect. Absolutely. I'm not going to lie to you. Is it going to happen? No. There's reality in there. So.
Well, I'm glad I'm not on your team working, man, because my golf game ain't there yet. So my follow-through swing, I'm working on it, man, a little bit as I can, man. Can you talk a little bit? I know you elaborated on you guys do weddings, you do private parties, you do catering. That's somewhat of community outreach. Do you do any other events as far as charity work that you provide meals for in the community or anything of that nature?
I would like to get more into it. I used to do it personal for like churches and stuff. I've just been so busy, to be honest. I do donate chef's tables, and parties for 5, 4, 6, whatever it is. Like I think we donated something for Gold Rush raffle coming up. United Way, we've donated some stuff for. I think it's Miss Rodeo that we've done. So yeah, some of it's regional, some of it's not so local, but there is a lot more local stuff too. Okay. Yeah, I mean, some of the nonprofit organizations, of course, you give them a better deal because you want their business, of course, and you want. So yeah, just to show off the place in general. So that's my charity right now. To be honest with you, it's been a little hectic just that first year. Just still, the beak's a little wet still, so we're still learning. Yeah, definitely want to be more involved. I said involved with the farmers for sure and the produce. Yeah, always looking for more of them, of course. Yeah, I'd say I definitely have to be more involved. And with the school, of course, just trying to reach out with the kids, getting them more involved. So yeah.
Indeed. I'm a big, this is a personal question here, man. I'm a big ambiance person. So can you speak to, I know obviously you're the head man, so you make all the final decisions and probably all the decisions pretty much, but can you speak on kind of what's the process of going on to the ambiance and the scenic of the restaurant itself and the inside, from the either the candle lights on the table and the forks and the knives and things like that?
Yeah, I wanted to keep it simple, to be honest. I don't want it gaudy. I don't want it too colorful. And when we were actually creating the restaurant, it actually went back to, I think it was the 125th or 105th birthday of Marshall. So everything was plastered all over the town. It was a birthday. It's a lot of black and white stuff. And I don't know if that just triggered everything. And I wouldn't say everything's black and white in there, but it is very clean, simple. Because before it was an Italian place, so it was a little Tuscany looking, different colors. So we went very clean, basic. So I wouldn't say I kind of want to say it's polished, if that's the right word for it. I mean, yeah, it's not. I don't know. We got pictures of the old Marshall area around the walls and stuff like that.
I was gonna ask, but I haven't been in there yet, so I was gonna ask, any Picasso paintings in there?
No, Picasso. We kept it simple and just clean. I wanted it not modern, because you go modern, it just doesn't feel warm. Yeah. So I just wanted to be comfortable. That's all.
Got you.
But this old building, of course, in the wintertime, it's not as comfortable. So might want to bring a jacket just in case.
Yeah. So you spoke about that a little bit. You guys have the rooftop, correct, as well?
Well, that's a different business, but it's the upper room. But we do a lot of the catering and so forth up there.
Sounds good.
We do have a private dining area, but that's only about 40 people.
Okay. Got you. What goes into the private parties, if you can elaborate a little bit more? Is that different than the regular kind of company you receive on a week-to-week, night-to-night basis?
It can be. They can go as far as out of the box as they want. I mean, they can get the basic stuff. They can order stuff off the menu, or they can have a meeting with me or the catering manager, and we can do pretty much just about anything under the sun for them. It just really depends on their price point that they want to do. The stuff we've done is even weddings. I mean, same thing. We've done Indian food weddings, burger bars, all the way to meat and potatoes. So I'm willing to try and do anything and everything just to make everyone happy. So that's the good part about being a chef too, just getting to play around with different foods.
Indeed. I was going to speak to that, and you went right into that, so I'm going to pivot with that as well. Kind of how you spoke a little bit about it, but kind of if you want to share, what is your favorite meal to you, and kind of how do you get your creative juices flowing as far as when you want to make something new in the kitchen and kind of spark the interest of the whole staff and the whole community and everybody? Because I think we got the building right there in the backdrop as well, so.
Oh, yeah, you do. I was scared you're going to ask that question because I don't have a favorite meal. It changes week to week, day to day, hour to hour. It really depends. Okay. I mean, what's coming in the back door, especially in summertime, you get into all sorts of different things. And I'm always on the internet just looking for different things. I'd say my favorite meal right now is I got some pork cheeks in there. Ooh. Oh, man, they just melt in your mouth. Man. And just that and
now Chef, I'm a connoisseur, man, of food, man. I'm a food critic. I take that pride. My dad is a barbecue guy. He's a barbecue pit guy, everything. What goes into that process? I have to ask of the pork cheeks.
The pork cheeks, it's slow and low.
Oh, man.
Or low and slow, whichever one you want to choose. And you think, because they're overworked, because, of course, they're always chewing something. But, man, you can just make them fall apart. Man. They get the porky flavor, and it's just, I don't know. To me, I like using the unique pieces of the pig, cow, fish, whatever it is. I mean, we had pork, like when we opened, I did a little dish. It was a spin on pork and beans. And I used the pork belly, the pork shoulder, and the pork tail. So the tail meat was in there and everything. It was actually still on the bone and everything, which is kind of cool. So, I mean, just different things. I like to be different. I mean, like I said, anybody, you can go anywhere and get a hamburger and pizza, but let's just change it a little bit. Put our own little spin on it, that's all.
Yeah.
But no, that's how I push the staff too. It's like, we can get whatever we want to in here, guys. We can let's play around with it. Let's make it our own.
Now, are you open to ideas from your staff?
Oh, 100%. Okay. I'm pushing them all the time. I got a person there now. She's 15. I asked her what she, over the holidays, I said, what'd you get for Christmas? And she went on, she got some stuff for like making sourdough bread. I was like, oh, I didn't know you liked doing that. You never talk about it. So then I pushed her. We had a private party, actually. I was like, all right, you're doing the bread for it.
Wow, at 15.
Yeah, she came in and she knocked it out. I was like, good for her. I actually took her out to the private dinner and everything, introduced her. So I put them on the spotlight. I'd rather be in the back, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm used to being in the back. But we do have an open kitchen, so you got to be out front. But, no, I'd rather have my staff be out there. It's all about them. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
So I just can't do it alone.
I mean, I'm glad you spoke to that. I was going to speak to teamwork as well. I was going to ask you, along with teamwork, what are the core values to you in business, especially in the food industry?
Core values, oof. You got to have a team. If you don't have that backbone, you're not going to make it. And that's the hardest part right now. I hate to say it. I know everybody struggles with labor. I mean, I just talked to all my restaurant people, just even back home or just across town. It's the struggle of keeping. It's like, what's going to make them happy and what's going to keep them there. I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you I got the perfect answer, because I don't. Is it money? I don't know, because I seem to throw money at them and it still doesn't. It's not working. So just trying to. I feel like I'm creating the space for the people to come in and work and have a good place. But sometimes it's just nights, weekends, holidays. It's not for everyone. It's not, especially if you got a family and you want to be home with them. So, yeah, it's just creating a place that you want to keep your workers and keep them happy. Let's just let them know what you expect of them, so they're not guessing. Yeah. If they got to come in and guess about what I'm thinking, or the boss or whoever it is, and what they're supposed to do, what might piss me off or make me upset, whatever. They have to know what they're I can't say that word now. Expected of. So that's what it is. But it's got to be teamwork in the kitchen.
Got you.
Not one person can do it all.
Got you.
I've tried.
I know it's tough. I say that all the time. You need a team for everything. I mean, small business, large business, corporation. There's no just you doing it. You know, you can't have just one body trying to represent the marketing and the farming, and then who's cleaning the dishes and who's making sure there's people being sat in their seats and who's running the bar area and things like that, man. So I want to reverse a little bit, you know, and talk about how did we did share a little bit about the family background and things like this, but was this a dream that was brought about over time, or was this just spot on once you knew from day one I wanted to get this? Like, can you speak to the dream and have you accomplished that per se?
The dream's been there.
More so, I didn't mean to say was the dream there. More so, did you accomplish your dream? Like, are you fulfilled per se?
No, I'm never fulfilled. I go home, I can always do better. It's the same thing as actually I have a sous chef now, and he's like, what can I do better? What can I do better? I was like, everything. I was like, I can do better every day. I was like, I'm my own worst critic. I go home every night. I'm like, man, what can I do better? What can I do better? I was like, I can do better. Why aren't those seats in the restaurant full every night? And being an owner and operator, everything, man, you take it to heart. Some nights it's slow. Some nights it's packed. Those empty seats, it kills you. It's like I take it personal. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? So there's always personal growth. Constantly I'd take classes online still, just from other chefs, just trying to learn from them. I don't think I'll ever be fulfilled, to be honest with you.
I love it, man. I preach the same thing to myself, that, you know, when you're trying to chase greatness, you can't be fulfilled. Now, there's a difference between complacency and contentment. Contentment to me is being grateful to the Creator for where I am in life, but complacency means that I feel like that I arrive and there's no extra. There's always, you know, people are always breaking records. People are always setting marks. You know, we at one point thought Michael Jordan was the greatest. Now everybody says LeBron. You know, so you get to that point in life and you continue to chase greatness. You'll know, especially what I love about you, Chef, and just hearing you in this whole conversation I've been having. You're very attention to detail, and I think when I've talked to chefs before, that is the number one thing. Is details are very important to you. And so you spoke a little bit about your slightly about your goal. Can you speak a little bit about smaller goals compared to longer goals for Atlantic Place?
Smaller goals, of course, is to be profitable and grow. Catering business, of course, restaurant business, just getting our name out there more and more. Just being part of the community. It's not just the restaurant. I don't like it when anyone says that, or myself, of course. It's just a restaurant. It's a place. It's a gathering spot. It's Atlantic Place. Small goals, holy smokes, there's a lot of them. Same thing. I've got a lot to learn. Every day is a new day. Just create, like I said, I'm going to circle back, creating that perfect place for people want to work there. Mm-hmm. I want to line out the door of workers wanting to work there and customers, of course. Mm-hmm. It's like, why can't I have both? Mm-hmm. I push myself hard every day. Mm-hmm. Same thing with food. I mean, there's always something to learn for that. Mm-hmm. That's probably my smallest goal, is just to be profitable and just to have fun and just create that spot. Gotcha. I don't want to burn out.
Would you ever think of expansion? Now, I know certain chefs do kind of a caveat off of like their current restaurant. Say you were to do Atlantic Place in the style it is there, maybe you do a restaurant that's more to baking and sweets or something, you know, more of a jazzy feel or just a lounge bar type of deal. Would you ever think about considering something like that?
I feel like you're in my mind today. I actually thought about that not too long ago. There was a spot that actually I could have broke through one of the walls into the kitchen, and it would have been like the perfect bakery. Yeah. But they actually turned those into offices now. Wow. But that's only a 5-year lease, so maybe those offices might leave.
Hey, never know.
But no, that would be awesome. I'd love to have just more of a, I don't know, there's lots of bars in Marshall, and just having a different type of bar. Mm-hmm. And we do have an outlet now, which we actually do all the food for, is, for, of course, Wing Axe. Okay. So there's a little supplement there. It's not just money. It's actually being creative of different pizzas and wings and so forth. Mm-hmm. So that's a little bit of an expansion, I guess you can say. Yeah. But no, for my own personal thing, I get what you're saying about having that own little caveat there. Mm-hmm. Right now, it's just I'm still in the newness of Atlantic Place and trying to just fine tune it and getting that core group in the spot. But no, I always have dreams of just, I don't know. You always have dreams, and you have those little spur of the moment things that are just crazy ideas that you probably shouldn't be thinking about. But yeah, because you know it's not going to work.
Definitely patience and time, man. Dedication and time equals to success. I was going to ask, man, you talked about baking. I'm not really of a dessert or a sweet guy, but what's the top 3 on the menu? You know, you got people that are sweet connoisseurs, man. I got to know what's on the dessert.
Well, they change kind of often. Was it like last summer we did like a sweet corn ice cream, and I know we're coming back on.
Ice cream.
We actually just did a popcorn ice cream. Mm-hmm. It was like, oh, you just put popcorn flavor in your ice cream. I'm like, no, we actually pop a ton of popcorn, and we actually put it in the custard and pureed the crap out of it, and then we churned it. Wow. And then we garnished it with some other popcorn.
That sounds good. Nick would like that. I know Nick would like that.
But now we're always playing around with different flavors. But I'd say the number one is probably the creme brulee or the peanut butter pike. Pike is just a cross between a pie and a cake. Okay. Or cake and a pie. Yeah. Whichever way. Those are the 2 big ones. But no, we do probably, I would say monthly, or it really depends what they're selling, to be honest. Mm-hmm. We try to change up different flavors of cheesecakes and stuff like that, too. Gotcha. No, I still like playing with baking. Okay. Actually, going back to school, I learned a lot more about baking too here, just teaching bake class and so forth. Mm-hmm.
I think, man, baking's a way different art.
Oh, it's definitely.
Man, baking. Man, I have to shout out on this show, rest in peace to my aunt. She just passed away, my grandma's sister. She was our baker, man. She used to make pumpkin bars. She used to make like bread from rye, from the dough form, peanut butter cookies, all type. And I've watched that woman, man. Baking is a different type of art.
It is, definitely.
I can't mess with baking. I can cook some good food, man, but I cannot mess with bacon at all.
I used to hate bacon. I was like, crap, I got to use a recipe now. Yeah. You just can't start throwing stuff in a pot and think it's going to turn out. Yes. So
definitely different time.
It is.
Is there any family dish that you have in the menu or anything of late that you implement? Maybe when Mother's Day rolls around, you think about your mom a little bit more, or Father's Day when your dad, Father's Day, you start thinking about your dad a little bit. You want to kind of spice up the menu?
No, it more turns more towards my roots, I guess, the southern part.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily a dish that they really cook. Like I said, they weren't. I hate the God rest her soul, mom. But they weren't the best cooks. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they had good food, of course. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there is anything on the menu for that.
Gotcha.
I'm still trying to recreate tater tot hot dish, though.
Okay.
That's the first time I ever had one when I moved up here.
Yeah.
I just don't know how to do it.
That's definitely a Midwestern dish.
Right?
I have Southern roots in Baton Rouge. So
Okay.
I'm going now.
Nice.
You went there, chef. Now
Yep.
I'm gonna take it there. These folks on here, they don't know nothing about crawfish and gumbo.
Nope, they don't.
If you can get gumbo on there, man, you will have me there 7
There you
days a
go.
week. So if we get
I got etouffee on there right now.
okay,
But
all right.
you can't judge me because, especially if you come from New Orleans.
Oh man, oh you and the thing about it is a lot of Southern food, it looks dirty
Yep.
in a lot of places, and
Yep.
Midwesterns don't know nothing about
No.
that, you know. So and they'll judge it and be wrong. So I definitely got to shout that out, man. But no, it's definitely been good talking to you, man. Do you have any questions for us? I know this is a conversation, but you are someone who has played an increment part here, and we want to know kind of your feedback as you kind of partake in partnering with us in the Center of Business, man. I definitely know a lot of our questions have been structured to the business aspect of kind of getting more involved with, can the center get more involved with the Atlantic Place? Where can we find you? You know, you did talk a little bit about trying to build into internships and things like that. Are there ways, career job availability right now via online as well that people can get in contact with?
Yeah, absolutely. There is. We took some of the postings down, but if you go to the website and just go to the info at AtlanticPlaceMarshall.com,
Okay.
that email goes directly to myself and a few other people if you have job inquiries or any type of inquiry.
Okay.
But no, we definitely want to work more with the community. It's just like I said before, being newness, just getting feet off the ground, just getting that flow going. No, I definitely want students. Like I said, I have a few students already there working, but we want to be more involved. But there's tons of opportunities. Like you said before, from bartending to serving, and even if you just want to wash dishes part-time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm going to challenge you no matter what. If you come in and be a dishwasher, I don't care. You're going to be challenged.
Yeah.
It's not just come in and do your 2 hours worth of work, wash dishes. I'm going to push you. I want to see everybody grow. I don't want the dishwasher there now to be the dishwasher the whole time.
Yeah.
If that's what they want to do, for sure, if it's part-time. But I want everyone to grow in there, even myself. I don't want to be stagnant.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want my sous chef to be there forever. I want some newness.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to grow. Or either that or take my job.
Well, you take your job, you're going to be going somewhere else, man. We can't have you
Right.
leave too soon, man.
I still be the owner, just not the chef. There you go. Then I can open the other place.
Indeed. More time. That's what you said. Time management as the boss, man. Real quick before we get up out of here, I got to ask now because we went into it. You expanded on it as far as the bartending. I don't currently drink as much as I used to, but I understand the value of a great drink, man. Can you go into that? Because that definitely plays dividends into a great meal.
It does. I have a few awesome bartenders. Holy cow, I've learned more and more since opening Atlantic Place about drinks than I've ever known my whole life. The art and science behind that, I'm going to turn that into my baking that I don't even want to touch because holy smokes, I don't understand half that stuff. And the bartender, she can whip up some things, this one. And it's like being in the kitchen. To put us side by side, it's like she's the chef of the front of the house in the bar. It's like some of the things that she comes up with, it just blows my mind. It's just how it works together.
Yeah.
So yeah, a drink, to me, I'm a beer guy. But it's got to go with the food for sure. I mean, there's so much fusion out there. Everybody just seems to just throw this together. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I like to try to make more of an educated guess or decision, shall I say, not a guess.
Yeah.
But no, definitely drinks for sure go along with it. I mean, it's just like our sign out front. It says craft food, craft cocktails. So, I mean, we try to make as much as we can from our simple syrups to, just every little detail to that drink. We want to try to do in-house too. But definitely has to go with it, the meal itself. I wish we could have more and more pairings. Yeah, I say, like, we're actually working on that too. Sorry, jumping forward.
Yeah, no,
just
you
trying to get like wine pairings, and was like, well, everybody does wine pairing. Let's do something different. How about some whiskey or something different, vodka?
Yeah.
I mean, just get some random stuff in here.
Yeah.
Just
the Southern roots, I would assume a nice bourbon, man.
There you go. Exactly. Yep. I mean, a nice bourbon bar in there. So there's all sorts of stuff I want to do. Yeah. It's just finding the time and place, and some of that stuff you got to reel in too, because you can't do it all. You got to make sure that people are going to come.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. And I think just to continue to spend on that, that's a great value having as businessman, to just understand it's not done in one day.
No, it's not. If it was, everybody would be doing it.
Indeed. Indeed. What's the real quick last question here, man? Because you're a Southern guy. I want to make the pre-assumption that you're a blues guy.
Yep.
What's the music like in there? That's big for me as well.
You had to bring that up. Somebody changed the playlist on me the other day. I was like, what the heck is this stuff? It's I don't know. I'm not going to bash my employees. Something has changed.
I'm getting the chef in trouble, man.
Past few weeks. I better not answer that. I've tried to deal with that one. I don't know. I don't know if they're playing a joke on me or they just don't care. But it's changed recently, and because I always, to be honest, right before service, after we talk, I go to the restroom. I do a bathroom check. I want to make sure. I mean, if the bathroom's not clean, the rest of the restaurant probably is not going to be clean.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. I just always go in there, and that's the only time I can really hear the music. I'm like, I either come out happy or I've come out mad because there's not anyway. So yeah, I go check and see what's playing on the.
Chef, I apologize, man. Look, I've been asking some personal questions.
I'm trying to be nice about it. Sorry. Yeah, we just try to play restaurant music.
Indeed,
leave it at that.
I'll just say this. I'm going to have to request for a private party so I can get some Al Green playing.
There you go. I'll take that all day long.
Already, man. See, these young folks, they don't know nothing about that, man. So I had to take it there, man. But, Chef, I appreciate you, man. This has been wonderful conversation with you, man. I thank you for your time. I know you're a busy, man. And, man, I definitely will be coming soon to the restaurant to check it out, get a nice meal, man. You guys can locate him at Atlantic Place. We have it here in the backdrop. It's the old Bella Cucino, I believe. Yep. And so, man, right there, what's the street?
It's corner of Main and West College.
Main and West College, because I'm bad with names out here. I've lived out here for 2 years. I'm a direction guy. I know it's down on the main street, downtown near the bars and Fuzzies and the Gambler and things like that, man. But I really appreciate you for your time, your incitement from a business standpoint, letting us into your personal life and your backstory with everything. Very much gratitude to you, Chef. And
thanks for having me.
Continue to just be successful, man, and blessings to you and your business, man. So, man, I appreciate everybody tuning in today on The Blueprint, man. Tune in a couple of weeks. We do have some more shows coming up and remixing for this new year, man, and I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Thank you.